Lesson 9. Whenever you're studying grammar, it's really important to understand the different parts of a sentence. A few lessons ago, we learned what a subject of a sentence was, and now we're going to learn what a verb is. So a verb is simply a word that shows action or being. So as you can see here in the paragraph, we have dance, shout, walk, talk, and write. And those are verbs that are what we might call action verbs, verbs that show someone doing some actual action. But there are also verbs that just show being or existing. These are also called linking verbs. And so if you say, I am a farmer, then in that sentence, the word am is what you would call a linking verb. It's just a verb that shows being or existing. Or if you say, you are a farmer, then in that sentence, the word are simply is a linking verb. It's showing being or existing. So for practice, let's examine our exercises and see if we can identify the subject and the verb of each of them. Number 1, she is the subject and walks is the verb. And number 2, car is the subject and is the verb. And so is a linking verb there. So you see in number 1, our verb is walks, and that's an action verb. But here in number 2, our verb is just a verb of being or existing, what we might call a linking verb. Moving on to number 3, I is the subject and see is the verb. In number 4, the subject is he and the verb is bought. So that's an action verb. In number 5, we have Sam is the subject and loves is the verb. In number 6, they is the subject and swim is the verb. And then in number 7, books is the subject and then are is the verb. And so this is another example of a linking verb. The books are, they're just being or existing. The books are not really performing any action. The verb simply refers to them being or existing. So that's a linking verb. Number 8, I is the subject and called is the verb. Number 9, China is the subject and produces is the verb. And in number 10, the subject is dog and the verb is barks. And so the way number 10 is worded, it says Mr. Smith's dog. So I worded it that way just to make it slightly more challenging. So you have to really think about number 10 so that you realize the subject is not Mr. Smith, but it's Mr. Smith's dog. It's the dog. So dog is the subject, barks is the verb. So what's the whole point of lesson 9? The point, very simply, is to understand what a subject and what a verb is so that we can understand the structure of a sentence better.